This is Mid-Atlantic Women in Agriculture's Wednesday webinar, Twitter for Newbies. Our presenter today is Michelle Walfred, Communications Specialist with the University of Delaware. All archived presentations, along with all upcoming presentations, can be found at our website. And a special thank you to our sponsors. This presentation is pre-recorded, so questions can be directed to Michelle with her email address provided. Any materials she references through the presentation can be found at our website. Thanks so much for listening.
This webinar is designed for those of you who do not have a Twitter account yet, or maybe had a Twitter account and gave it up. It's going to be very basic. If you've got further questions, and hopefully this will spur some questions, we're going to take it to another level on April 22nd. Short PowerPoint, about 12 slides, and then we're going to go and actually I've created a fictitious business, and we're going to just go step by step, which you'll have to do so you'll have an idea of what's in store. You need to ask yourself a feyou questions. What do you want to do on Twitter? Who do you want to be on Twitter? You can have multiple accounts. I do. But you need one email for each. Do you want a company or business account? Do you want a professional/personal account? So this is it's under your name, but you're mostly being professional on it. Or do you want an individual personal account? And that I would equate to being something where you're maybe a little bit more silly, or you want to talk about pop culture or politics or religion or controversial topics. You may want to split those. There's no rhyme or reason, and there is no agreement in the industry. Some people say no, you want to be who you are all the time, and people will just adjust to your belief systems. But that doesn't always work for some people. Ultimately, you've got to decide what do you want to be as your voice for your account. What tone or voice do you want to convey on Twitter? This is an example of what I call a personal, professional Twitter account. On the left, it is my picture. A few pounds ago, but it's my picture. A picture of Lewis, the town I live in, so it's a picture I took, and it represents where I live. I use my real name, and then I have what's called a profile. We have 160 characters to write a profile. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go up to 160, but it's very nice to do so. And my profile says who I am and where I work. It links some accounts that I manage, since you see the at Carvel UD, at UD Extension, at Delaware 4-H. I talk about being a blue hen, and I talk about what I'm going to be tweeting about. 95% of the time, my tweets are about the following: social media, because I took a social media course and we had to talk about it online. I talk about gardening. I talk about 4-H, I talk about photography, and I tweet about Thomas Nast, because that was my research that I did as a graduate student. But I say my tweets are my own. So yes, I work for the University of Delaware. I'm an ag communicator, but what I say here is mine. I'm not officially representing the University of Delaware. So that's not officially, but what I say does reflect on where I work. So if I started to tweet anti-Obama or pro-Obama, whatever the case may be, Democrat or Republican, today politics is so volatile, I can really isolate a lot of people. So I tend to keep this on topic. It doesn't mean that I don't tweet about my grandson once in a while, or I might mention Downton Abbey, but as a rule, those are the topics I stick to. The people who have come to follow me know that those are the topics. So people who are following me for social media will tolerate my posts about gardening, and vice versa. So this is an example. This is a screenshot from a cell phone of what I call a personal yet / professional Twitter account. This, on the other hand, is an organization or a business page. It is your brand. So who are you representing? So this would be your store, your retail store, your farm, your if you haven't done so, anything like that. And usually the picture here is your logo, your company logo. You might have a banner photo or a header photo here. And once again, you can explain what your business is, what you do. You also have room for a website, and I have the same thing here for mine. So this is particularly nice for businesses, because then people can visit your website for more. You will see that each of these have followers and following. This is very similar to Facebook. So you have numbers of friends. So 613 people are following UD Extension, and they're following 677 people at this time. So this fluctuates all the time. So you also have to decide what you want to do on Twitter. And you can pick any of these, none of them, one or two of them. It's all good, it's all okay. Do you want to start a conversation? Do you want to get on and advocate for agriculture? There are people already talking about a topic. Do you want to be part of that? It doesn't have to be serious. If you're a sports fan, if your team is the Philadelphia Eagles or the Baltimore Ravens, you can search for #Eagles and find that conversation, and you can join in. And you'll meet other people who are doing the same thing. So it's a way of talking about it. So you can increase your business by doing that. It's amazing how powerful this tool is. You can serve as a resource to others. That is what Extension's goal is here. We have knowledge that we want to share out to people, so we will post information, and we want it to be useful. We want them to, oh, I want to check that out and visit our website. You can just have fun with it. So you don't have to be on here and be serious. You can use it to talk about your sports teams or your hobby or politics or whatever's going in the news. It's entirely up to you. And some people combine this in one account. Some people separate it out. That's a judgment call that each of you would have to make. You can use it for business to business and business to customer. Or you can just use it to monitor the news. It becomes a handheld Reuters. Do you remember old Reuters news service, or the ticker that goes across the bottom of your television screen? People just use it. They don't even tweet. They just follow news and follow people, follow celebrities, and they just watch it. So that's okay too. You don't have to be active in it if you don't want to. Before you get started, now I did my homework, but before you get started, you'll want to save this page for later. What you will need is a square image for your face, a portrait of yourself. You don't have to, but people trust you more if you say who you are. They can see who you are. And if you're an organization, your logo. You'll need a header image. Some people don't use it, but it looks kind of blah if you don't. Twitter, when they reconfigured last year, they went to a more Facebook timeline type of situation. So they're all sort of going with that format now. You will need a distinct email account. Once you've used that email account, you cannot open up another Twitter account. You need to have another email. So Gmail is good for that because you can keep adding accounts. You want to think ahead of time about what your handle is going to be. This is the @ sign with the name that you will see. This is the Twitter address. It's also called your handle. It is how people will contact you. If your name is Joan Miller, you're not going to probably find J. Miller or Joan Miller available. Once somebody's used it, it's gone. So you want to have maybe ahead of time a couple alternatives that you could use. I could have called myself Delaware Girl and still been Michelle Walford, but it's nice to be able to have the same if you can. And UD Extension. You'll notice that there's capitals and lowercase, they're not case sensitive. It's just like email. It's not case sensitive. The capitalization, though, I think does help with the aesthetics, particularly if you're using a two-word thing like dairy farm. You might want to capitalize the first word to just kind of break it up a little bit. It's not always possible, but try to avoid numbers and symbols only because when people are on cell phones, they hit the shift, they have to shift to get to it's a little bit, it's an extra step. If you can stay with letters, that's great, but you may not be able to. Homework, you want to compose ahead of time a 160 character profile. This would be something so that when people see you, who are you? So this is the 100, you have up to 160 characters. It's not a lot, but it's usually enough. And then you'll have a separate line for your website. So what website do you want people to see? And you can go in and change this at any time. You want to have an idea maybe who you want to follow. If you are a produce stand, you might want to follow, or say you sell at the farmer's market, you might want to look up ahead of time some of the farmers markets in the area. And so here's some suggestions. You might want to look at other businesses that are similar to you or yours, and you want to kind of write down their handles so that you could follow them right away, because Twitter's going to put you through a few loops to try to get you following people. But people who are similar to you, local governments, local news, national news, every reporter, every senator and congressman, U.S. senator and congressman are on Twitter. Most of your local news outlets and all their reporters are on Twitter. National news. You may want to search for thought leaders, so you could search for a hashtag, like if you were a quilter, you could search quilting, and then you would be able to see all the other people who are talking about quilting. So you could follow some of them if you wanted to. You could follow celebrities. The Kardashians, huge on Twitter. Taylor Swift, big, big, big. So a lot of people just follow celebrities. They're not going to follow you back in most cases, but so you want to have an idea ahead of time. Now in my fictitious account, I'm going to be a dairy farmer, so I looked up a competitor / colleague, which is Hopkins Farm Creamery in Lewis, Delaware. So I went on their website. This is a screenshot, and most websites will have their social media right there in the front. So I can go, oh, and I can click on them and find out what their Twitter handle is. They happen to embed their tweets on their website, which is a really cool thing to do if you have a website or a blog, so that everything you tweet will actually flow right into your website. And I can see here, this is their handle, Hopkins Farm Creamery, without the vowels. So they tried to shorten it a little bit. So you just want to compile a list of some people to follow that are like yours, or you think might add some value to your Twitter account. And that's homework. Try to do that ahead of time. And then we're almost wrapping up here. Basic terms. A hashtag, you're going to hear this a lot. It's a £sign or a number symbol that's used before a main subject or keyword of your tweet. It will be used to find you, so it's important. It's used to sort topics. Examples would be foodie, ag, farm DE, Super Bowl. That was a hashtag for the Super Bowl, so when that's going on, you can follow that hashtag and everybody's talking about it. Downton Abbey, Downton PBS. That's the hashtag. 4-H, that's the hashtag for 4-H. Note there's not a dash. So any hobby or interest. As a rule, and rules are made to be broken, Twitter etiquette states that no more than 3 hashtags in a tweet. But you have to have at least one, especially when you're starting out. If you're starting out, you don't hashtag, no one's ever going to read what you said. And the idea here to go on Twitter is to be seen, to be shared, to influence conversations. If you've got a business, you want to reach new clients, you want to reach a new audience. So you have to have at least one hashtag. There's usually one for every state. NetDE is the Delaware one. I'm not sure if I think NetNJ would be for Jersey. I think they use the postal codes after a keyword. So we'll look at patterns for that. The hashtags can be used within the 140 character statement, which is a couple sentences that you say. They are not case sensitive, but they do help. So for instance, in January, we partner with an event called Delaware Ag Week in January, and that is the hashtag we developed for that. And we capitalize the D, the A, and the W. For readability only, this works just as well. So, but it looks like Diag Week. So this is just a little more visually interesting. And you have to have a space prior and a space after the hashtag. A handle, as I've mentioned, is an @ symbol that's used before it. So this is my address, this is my Twitter address. If you use that in a tweet, whether you're following me or whether I'm following you, I'm going to see it. It's a way of tapping somebody on the shoulder and saying, hey, I want you to see this, or hey, I've got this photo I want you to take a look at. Or you can use a hashtag to thank somebody. Thank you, UD Extension, for partnering with us on this great webinar. Here's Mid-Atlantic Women in Ag. Please follow them. They're sponsoring this today. So this would be who you'd follow. So I'm giving you some hints right here of some places you could follow. USDA, they have a gazillion hashtags for each one of their departments. They have one for My Plate. So if you're into food and nutrition, you could follow My Plate. But if you use it in your tweet, My Plate will see your tweet. So this is a way of getting attention. And it's an important technique to use. Again, not case sensitive, but it does help. And the one takeaway from this is confusing at first, is to just go on there and look at the people who've been on Twitter a while, the ones that have a pretty decent following, and just read their tweets. You'll be able to figure out really quick how they use them, how often they break the rules, and that's what I did. That's what I did. I didn't take a Twitter course. I took a course in social media much later. But I went on there and I kind of fended for myself and learned how. And I was using 4H with the dash for the longest time. Then I realized that's not the hashtag. Oh, so it's trial and error, but observation is key to your success. Really quickly, some basic terms. If you're familiar with Facebook, Twitter's not that much more different. It's just shorter. Followers are the same as having page fans or having friends. So they're the people who are following you. Followers, rather. Following you, these are people who you are following. So these would be the pages that you like and the friends that you accept. The reply, which is shown by a left-turning arrow, is the same on Facebook as commenting on somebody's post on Facebook. Retweeting, which is an up and down arrow, often seen as RT, is the same as sharing something. This is the one thing you really want in social media. If you have a social media Facebook page or a Twitter account, you want people to share your stuff. This is how you gain prominence and how you get new audiences. Favoriting on Twitter is a little star symbol. If you have it on Instagram, it's a heart, same thing. And it's the equivalent of the like, the thumbs up. I won't go over this. Is pretty standard fare here. You're familiar probably with Facebook having the little earth with the number sign. I mean, somebody's mentioned you. You'll get notifications on Twitter for that. Messages, just be careful. This is direct messages. You have to follow me and I have to follow you in order for us to send each other messages. But sometimes people click on links and then you get a little bit of spam. So I'm just kind of careful with that. Make sure you know what the link is. The Discover is you can go on there and find out what hashtags are trending. When Joan Rivers died, for instance, celebrity deaths go right up there real quick. Breaking news happens on Twitter now. It's politicians are releasing they're announcing that they're running for president on Twitter. So this is where that breaking news will show up, what's trending for the day, but you'll often see when a celebrity passes away, RIP, Joan Rivers, and you'll see that trending. Just like Facebook, you can search and then you can compose. So you can look at this later. I'm gonna move ahead here. You have 140 characters to say what you need to say on Twitter, but not really. You have 140 characters, but they will tell you if you're going to share a picture on Twitter, which we encourage you to do because pictures resonate, it's going to immediately take 23 characters off your account, and you'll see a little tally I'll show you in a minute. So you have to learn to abbreviate cleverly. So if I tweet a picture, it brings me down to 117. They will tell you to always try and not use up that 140. Always try to leave 10. And this is because unlike Facebook, when somebody retweets you, it takes up space in the Twitter field. So you always want to allow 10 characters for people to be able to retweet you. It could be 8, it could be 9, but 10's a nice, neat number. We'll look at how this works. Then if you want to put a link, well, what if I want to put a picture and a link to my website and I want to tweet that out? Well, you need to reserve anywhere from 13 to 23 characters to put a link in. So I have 13 here. That knocks me down to 94. So I have 94 characters, not words, 94 characters, including spaces, to say what I need to say. How in the heck are you going to do that? Well, this is what's made Twitter popular, because you have to be very succinct. It's quick. It's speedy. It's perfect for a cell phone. So you actually have to be very, 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 very lenient abbreviation policy with Twitter. Pretty much anything goes. Instead of congratulations, you may want to say kudos. If you have, this is almost a necessity, if you have a website that you're trying to share, for instance, this is an extension website, pretty long, that's going to take up half of my tweet. So I want to shorten that. WordPress has it built in. If you're using Hootsuite, which is a free scheduler kind of organizer for Twitter, a lot of people will use Hootsuite or TweetDeck, both free. They provide shorteners, but you can also go to a website called bit.ly.com, and the site will come up. This is a screen, and right up at the top it'll say, here's your shortener. I copied this in, pasted it in, it instantly translated it to this shortened version. So this is a lot better, 22 characters, than this. So then I just go ahead and I put it in my tweet, copy and paste. You don't have to sign up or sign in. If you want to do that and be able to have some statistic tracking, you can, but you don't need to do it. So you just have bit.ly up, maybe make a bookmark it so that it's always available for you. You can plunk in a god-awful long URL and instantly shortens it. Then I can either follow my tweet or I can start the tweet right in front. And if you'll notice, once I plunked that in, Twitter came right here and told me I have 118 left. So it'll give you a countdown of characters, which is really nice. You'll need that. So let's go live. So what I'm going to do now is share my desktop. All right, so I've done my homework. I have created a folder, and I have here, I have a I don't have a dairy, I'm not a farmer at all, but I've created a business called Walfred's Dairy Farm. And I've also, ahead of time, written a profile that I'm going to put in. And this is just something that I've done. This just gives you an idea of what I do for extension. I list people's Twitter handles, so you see government, senators, legislators, people connected, people who are bloggers. Now, I don't expect you to do this, but when I talked about maybe visiting a couple similar sites as yours, seeing what other extension people are doing or other ag people are doing, and writing down some of their handles, you'll see why this comes in handy. So I created a Gmail account. So what I need to do now is I need to go on the internet. I just wanted you to know I have this here. So I have my logo ready to go. I have a header image ready to go. I have some pictures that I want to tweet about my business. So I have that stuff ready to go. So now I'm going to go to twitter.com. And I'm already signed in under 4H, so I'm going to sign out. Okay, so for those of you who do not have an account, you will get this page, and it's going to say sign in. I don't want to sign in. I want to start a new account. So I'm going to just click sign in anyway. Okay, and it's going to say, well, I don't have an account, so I can't log in yet. So I want to sign up now. I'm new to Twitter. I'm a newbie. So I'm going to go ahead and say who I am. And I created a Gmail account for my business, which is called Walfred Dairy Farm. So I'm going to go at, okay. I'm going to create a password. And it will tell you if it doesn't match. What did I forgot my password already. Oh, you gotta remember it, because I'm gonna write this down. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna write my password down. Okay, so let me start over. I'm using letters, numbers, and symbols because that is the safest, least hack-proofable. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, I didn't have to repeat that. Okay. My username is required. This will be your handle. So I'm going to try at, let's see. I could go Walfred Farms. I could go Walfred Dairy. But the two D's might be confusing. So I'm going to go with Walfred Farms, because my logo has the cow, so that's going to convey the dairy. So it's going to say that worked, that was good. So you can try things out and it will tell you, sorry, that's taken. So I'm going to sign up. Phone verification, I want to skip this. And where is the button to skip this? I don't see that. All right. In order to protect the security account, we always have a phone number. I'll send you a text message. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to have to do that. This is new. All right. That's what's good to walk through these things. All right. I'm going to get my text message. 950112. Okay, so now I'm going to do another password. Okay, so okay, so it's creating an account. It's going to walk you through everything. So it's going to say, let's go. Step 2 of 6, what am I interested in? So just at this point, just check something, because otherwise it's going to, you can go ahead and it's going to ask you to follow people. And this, again, this is all new. So they're making some suggestions here. So in the interest of time, I'm just going to say okay, because I want to follow these 40 people. Fine. Just go ahead and get this over with, because it's a little bit of a mess otherwise. So this is improved, because they used to make you do 10 and then they make you do another 10. You had to keep going. All right, now here I am. It's Michelle Walford at Walford Farms. So I want to upload my photo. So I'm going to go to my desktop. And I have a folder here someplace. It was on my desktop. Okay, it's hiding from me. Anybody see WFD Twitter? There you go. All right, I'm going to upload this logo. It's going to crop it for you. That looks good. I like it. Continue. Find people you know. I want to skip this step for right now. We found people that you know. Go ahead and follow them all. Do you want to follow 20 more and continue? It will have you following people, and it's going to make you follow these. You could unselect them all and say, okay, I want to follow Delaware 4-H. That's fine. I want to follow her. I want to continue now. That's enough. Hang on, and they're going to set it up for me. So there I am. There is Michelle Walfred at Walfred Dairy Farm. I'm following 39 people. Well, I don't know that I really want to follow those people I followed, so I'm going to click on that. And CNN, that's fine. I don't need CNN breaking news, fine. Karen, I know her. I don't want to follow them. I don't know who that is. I know her. I don't want to follow that. So go back and unfollow the people that they made you follow, and you can choose your own. So it's just a way of getting in there and getting out. You don't want to be following 200 or 300 people until you've sort of built up your own followers. So some people will pay attention. When they look at me, they may say, oh, well, there's one person following. Oh, somebody's following me already. Who could that be? When somebody follows me, and Women in Ag, if you're ready, you could go ahead and follow me if you haven't done so. If you're on Twitter, go ahead and look up Walford Farms and follow Walford Farms. We're going to disconnect this account when it's over with, but I just wanted you to see how this works. The minute somebody mentions me or follows me, I'm going to see a notice up here. So I'm going to click on that. Mid-Atlantic Women in Ag and Trends Junkie followed you. I don't know who Trends Junkie is. I'm going to ignore that for right now, but Women in Ag. So I'm going to look at that and I'm going to go, okay, Women in Ag. And they have a fairly new account. And so they have 117 followers. I want to follow them back. Hey, that looks good. So that's all you do is you can just click like that and follow them back. Simple as that. But it's also nice when somebody follows you to thank them. So I might go up to them and actually click on their profile, and I could tweet them and say, Mid-Atlantic, and it will come the minute someone follows you, or it will come up. They will make suggestions for you, but there it is right there. And I'm going to say thank you. It's just a nice thing to do. Now, I have a notice up here. To confirm your email. So this may not let me have all of Twitter's features until I confirm about my email. So that's the next thing you have to do. So I am going to go to my inbox for Walfred Dairy Farms, and it's never under primary, it comes under social. So I have an email from them saying, confirm your Twitter account, Michelle Walfred. So I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to confirm it. Now my account's been confirmed. They know I'm a real person. So now I can do more things. So thank you. The next thing I want to do, So I'm following 24 people. I can go in at any time and unfollow them, so I can come back and say, I don't know who this Bill Potter is. I have no idea who he is. I'm going to unfollow him. If I follow these people, they're all going to get a notification that I followed them, and then they'll follow me back. So I'm just going to unfollow some more. I really didn't have a lot of say in who I was picking. All right, so I'm down now to 16. I have 2 people following me. Now what do I want to do? I want to edit my profile some more. I still have some work to do. So I'm going to edit my profile, and I want to add a header photo. You need a high quality landscape orientation, meaning it's sideways. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this photo in and open it. And there we go. How nice is that? And so you can trim it a little bit. I can make it closer, but I really like the way it is. I want to apply. Okay, I don't have my bio. That hasn't been done yet. So I'm going to click, and I've been a good girl, so I've got my Twitter profile here. And I'm going to copy this. And Shannon Victoria, this is complete. This is even different than last year when I was hoodwinked with all the changes, and they keep changing things. Social media keeps changing, just like Facebook is always changing their timeline. And all right, so I'm just going to paste my bio. It took it, I guess. This is different. Location. All right, there we go. So I'm making a little funny here. It's a 3rd-generation family dairy farm in Delaware. Oh, let me add a period. We make mozzarella cheese. Contact us about agritourism opportunities. So I'm a farmer that wants to have, tours and show people stuff. I'm going to say that I'm in Dover, Delaware. And this is where you would put your website, and I'm just going to go with www.fake website. I am live. Everybody can see me. I don't want people to know that this is a real business. So I'm just putting that in there. Theme color, this is like 4-H, you would want green, so you can just kind of pick a color, and I'm going to stick with maybe green because it goes good with what I have in my logo. And I'm going to save changes. And so now everything sort of has a light green tint to it. I can go back and change that if I want to red or to orange or to purple, and save changes. You can also click up to your logo here, and there are more settings. So this is another way that you can get to your account. My username is Walford Farms. I could change that, I go back home, my husband says, why didn't you say Walford Dairy? That's what we are. And I could go back there and change that. Don't change that 3 years in. If you're going to change it as soon as you can, and that will change your URL. You want to make sure you're on your right time zone. And then here's things you can do. Do you want to be notified in your email every time somebody does something or blinks or favorite you? You can change that. You can't do this on a app. You have to do it on the browser. You can block accounts. You can make your tweets private. I don't know why anybody would do that. You're in the business to create buzz and new audiences, so you would not want to do that, I don't think, but some people do. Some people are on Twitter and want to be private. So you can protect your tweets. If you protect your tweets and you make yourself private, then nobody else is going to be able to share your stuff. So this would be only for a personal, maybe a teenager might want this. If she wants to be able to tweet, people have to get permission. It's sort of like Instagram in that respect if you have a private Instagram account. You can add your location. Some people don't like that. It makes them uncomfortable. So you can look through the privacy section here. Can people find me by my email address? I don't know what her Twitter handle is, but I know she's walfordairyfarms@gmail, so they could look you up. So you have to look through this. I'm pretty fine with the defaults, actually. Where I don't want to have all of a sudden 75 emails coming at me every day. So do I want to be emailed every time somebody hearts or stars my tweet? No. Do I want to be emailed when I'm mentioned? So this is just like Facebook. You could just turn off the whole thing altogether, but you could tailor make this. So this is nice to know. I periodically might want to know when if I get a new follower. I think that would be interesting. But do I want all this stuff from Twitter? No. My email's crammed enough as it is. So I'm going to turn all this stuff off. But I just want you to see that you can customize it. So now I'm back, and here we go. So now I want to tweet something. So this is my very first tweet on Walford Farms account. So I'm going to just go right up here to the tweet icon, and I want to compose something. Rule number 1, if you're going to have a picture, put that up first. So I want to add a photo. I want to take a picture of, this is actually a 4-H'er, but I'm going to pretend she's my daughter. And I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to say she shows dairy cows and she won first prize. So I'm just going to say, it immediately dropped down. You don't see the photo, but it immediately dropped down to 117 characters, so that's how much I have left. So now I'm going to say I'm so proud winning first prize. Now, at the Delaware Dairy Show. Now, if I just tweet that, it's going to go, and 2 people are going to see it. The 2 people are following me. But I'm not going to get into the dairy world. Nobody who's interested in cows or Holsteins would see this because I've not hashtagged anything. The first thing I'll do here is get rid of the word first. There's my mouse. Oh, my mouse is acting funny. Technical issues today. Bear with me. Sorry about that, folks. All right, I want this. All right, I've got an issue, everybody. Hold on. Technical. My mouse has stopped working. Okay, there we go. I can't get my internet back up. Okay, let's try this. So you're looking at my screen. I cannot restore. That's Google. I cannot seem to not be able to restore my maximize. There we go. Okay. So proud of my daughter, Karen. Sorry about that. So proud of my daughter, Karen, for winning first prize at the Delaware Dairy Show. I don't know what's going on with my mouse. I'm having a technical issue, everybody. Sorry about that. All right, first prize. I might change that to 1 first prize because it's just shorter. I'm going to type in dairy. I'm going to hashtag dairy. It will also tell you what's currently going on right now. The dairy farming is a dairy free would not be a hashtag. Delaware's fine. I could put a hashtag in front of Delaware, but I know because I've done some homework and I've observed that everybody in Delaware uses a hashtag NetDE. And I presume, again, it could be like this. I presume that might be true. It might be NetMD. So it just means the Delaware network. So anybody who's on Twitter is talking about anything going on in Delaware uses this hashtag. So there may be something similar for your state. I like the idea of the dairy farming that popped up, even though that's not part of my tweet. I would think that that would work. It's relative to what I'm tweeting about. So I'm going to go back and add that in because it popped up. I think it was dairy farming, wasn't it? Dairy farming. So I'm going to pick that. It's telling me now I have 16 characters left. That's pretty good. I think I'll leave it be. I could add in farm.de, and that would leave me with 9. So that looks pretty good. I'm so proud of my daughter Karen for winning first prize at the Delaware Dairy Show. I can add an explanation if I want. It's going to leave me with 8, but that's okay. I'm going to hit tweet. And I'm going to go to home. And there's a picture. This is actually a 4-H'er called Colleen. She let me use her picture. But there's a picture. What's nice is it populates immediately on Twitter. So anybody following me, so I have 4 followers now. I'm like ADD. Let me go up and say, Diana's following me. Oh, so I want to thank her real quick so I could reply to her right there. I could retweet her. I could favorite her. I could go in. I could block her if she said something nasty to me, but she was actually said something very nice. So I'm just going to say, thanks so much. And this is the key to Twitter, is having these conversations. If you are on Twitter and somebody posts a fact sheet or posts a tip, by all means write them back and say, that was really helpful, thank you. Research is showing us that you just don't want to get on Twitter and tweet, this is what we're doing, this is what was on sale, this is the award I won, it's all me, we, this is our website, this is us. You will get twice as many followers if you interact with other people, if you like them, compliment them, ask them about themselves. There are real conversations that go on with these little mini. I got another notification. All right, Mid-Atlantic, she favored my tweet. So I posted that. She was following me. She saw it and she favored it. But what about now the other people? I have, okay, so I have right now, let me go back to home. I only have 4 followers, but possibly other people besides those 4 saw my tweet because I did what? I used that, I used farm.de, I used dairy. So what you want to do is, depending on your area, if you're an agent and your research is in nematodes, you could search in nematodes. You will find topics on them just to prove it to you. And so right now, and it'll tell you 3 hours ago when the tweet actually occurred, and people will be talking about nematodes. So they put it, is your turf, hashtag turf, overrun with nematodes? So this is an example of hashtags being put in a sentence contextually, or you can plunk it at the end, plant, sci, hort. So you can do, well, and there's 1, 2, 3. Here's another one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 2 or 3 per tweet is normal. If I'm interested in following the Eagles, and I know it's baseball season, so I'll say the Phillies. So right now it will give you the top, and it will give you all. Unlike Facebook, it's going to give you everything, which makes your feed move very, very fast. If you want to see how fast Twitter is, try following The Walking Dead on Sunday night. or Downton Abbey or any season finale of your favorite TV show, oh my God, you will see people commenting on the show. I can't believe she did that, or oh, that's terrible. Did you see what happened to so-and-so? And the feed will be 50, 60 every minute. So it can be very, very rapidly. But here are all the people right now talking about the Philadelphia Phillies. So if my website was a sports blog instead of a dairy farm, I might favorite him, or I might respond to him and say, that's cool, I like that. I might retweet him. Retweeting is just sharing. So I can now add a comment to this, like awesome insight. He's going to wonder why dairy farmers following him, but that's okay. So I can just go on here. This is new. So, and it's a little different when you're on a mobile device. When you're on a mobile device, you can actually comment and modify their tweet a little bit. But this is if you're into quilting and sewing. These are all the people right now who are talking. You want to look at photos, or I want to look at people. The desktop version of Twitter is much more comprehensive than it is on mobile, even though it's a mobile app, it's a mobile dominant app. But here are all the people talking about quilting, and maybe I want to follow some of them. Yeah, I want the patterns. Oh, here's a 96-year-old lady who's on Twitter. God bless her. I want to follow her. So you can choose to follow people on Twitter, and you could decide then, nah, I don't want to. So you have complete flexibility. So whatever your topic is, if it is farm DE, these are all the people who are using that hashtag right now. All. So there's my tweet because I used it. There's UD Extension uses it. There's Christy Wright. She uses it to talk about her farm. So this is what you need to do. The other thing you could do is let's go back to Women in Ag. So it's Mid-Atlantic Women in Ag. It pops right up. What I suggest that you do is look at who a like-minded organization or person, and look who they're following. And these might be people that you also want to follow. So you can see here, oh, they followed me, but they also follow Stephanie Bowden. They follow the USDA Press. Oh yeah, I think I want to follow them. So you can actually just piggyback on what other people are following. They're following the Maryland Farmers Market Association. Well, I definitely want to follow that, so I'm going to follow that. So you can go on and see what other people are following, and you get that same community. And I'm running out of time. So hopefully that will give you an idea. I wanted to show you real quick how Bitly works. So here is for my social media course, I had to take we had to create blogs. So I did write a blog on hashtags and how to use them strategically. And that's the hashtag for it up here. Now WordPress gives me oh, this is touchy. All right, I'm going to copy that link. I just want to show you how Bitly works. And I'm going to go over to bit.ly.com, and it will say the power of the link. Oh, my mouse is acting so weird. Okay, and there it is. I can go ahead and paste my link, and it shortens it. It pops right up. I can copy it. Then I can go back to my Twitter account. I want to go home. But now I'm going to put in that. So here's the link to my blog about hashtags. But I want Mid-Atlantic to see that. So one of the things I could do is I could say, here is how to figure out hashtags. And I'm going to put a hashtag on the word hashtags because that's the subject of mine. But I want Mid-Atlantic Women in Ag to see it. So I'm just going to add them in right here. And I might want to add the hashtag for social media because it's about social media. So that's an example of just throwing a tag in at the very end, and that's absolutely fine to do. But here's how to figure out hashtags. It's going to link to my blog. I'm sending it to the, now people who follow me will see it, but Mid-Atlantic will get a notification up here that they've been mentioned. So then they might click on it and go, oh, who's that? So your notifications are always going to tell you if somebody's mentioned you. See you on Twitter. I'm going to reply to them and say thank you. Now we'll get more into where those, how you place those handles in your tweet matters. So I'm mindful of the time here. I want to get to the final page. So that's as much as I could show you. Hopefully that helped.
Thank you for watching our archived presentation of our Wednesday webinar. If you would like to see more archived Wednesday webinars, please visit our YouTube channel. Or to find a schedule of upcoming live webinars, visit our website.